Have you ever wondered if the advice you're following to last longer in bed is wrong? Well, I believe a lot of it is, and it's holding you back. In fact, I know it is because back in November of 2019, I stopped listening to it and found a new system that in 3 months helped me go from not lasting 1 minute to lasting over 15 minutes consistently. And this has not only worked for me, it has worked for countless others. One man even had a partner send him this cake. So I'm excited because today I'm going to give you the exact blueprint to go from having no control to lasting over 15 minutes so you can fully satisfy your partner in bed. In this masterclass, you're going to discover exactly what to focus on and what awful, outdated advice to ignore so you can start getting results like you can see on the screen right now. Okay, so you're probably wondering, will this actually work for me? So this will work for men who want to overcome premature ejaculation 100% naturally, without any pills, numbing creams, or SSRIs. If you're looking for a quick fix, tip, or trick, then this is definitely not the right system for you. But how do I know it works? Well, after 6 years of seeing this up close, the pattern is undeniable. More than 400 men aged 18 to 66 have gone through this exact system, and the men who fully committed to the process completely changed their sex lives. The only ones who didn't were the ones who simply stopped doing the work. It has even worked for the most extreme cases of PE, like David. He's 36 and was ejaculating sometimes before he even got his pants off. And now his wife is climaxing before him during sex. Or William, he's 32 and went from lasting under 2 minutes and fearing his fiance might leave him to being able to last 10 to 15 minutes, and now his fiance is looking at him like he is a new man. Or Zach, he's 41 and is now lasting 20 to 30 minutes and only finishing because his wife wants him to. The thing I love about this system is it's the most sustainable one, and it actually enables you to overcome PE for life. And the best part is you don't have to take any pills or numbing creams or anything unnatural to get there. I have such an overwhelming amount of proof that it works. I'm actually really excited to share this system with you. So with that in mind, what's the strategy we're going to use to go from no control to lasting over 15 minutes and fully satisfying your partner in bed? Well, the first thing is we're not going to focus on Kegels because most men with premature ejaculation already have an overly tight pelvic floor, and focusing on Kegels can actually make your PE even worse. Also, full stop, Kegels don't fix premature ejaculation, period. And later I will show you exactly why. We're also not going to use distractions and try to count the tiles on the wall or think of long division, as this will probably make you lose your erection and definitely will not be enjoyable for your partner. We're also not going to use any medications like SSRIs, as they come with a whole host of negative side effects and don't actually solve the underlying problem. Most men tell me SSRIs made them feel horrible and didn't improve their ability to last at all. So this is more of the guys looking for a quick fix. In terms of being able to master ejaculation control, what I'm going to do is night and day to what you often get told to do online. So let me ask you a question. If you wanted to get in the best shape of your life and the only thing you focused on was your gym routine, but you were still drinking on weekends, staying up late, eating junk food, what do you think would happen? You wouldn't see much progress. Not because the gym doesn't matter, of course it does, but because it's only one part of the process. Real lasting change happens when all of those pieces work together, and fixing PE is the exact same. Most men only focus on one part, the physical aspect. So they see a doctor, they try Kegels, pills, numbing creams, and then they wonder why nothing changes. Even though doctors and world-leading urologists like Dr. Mohit Khera or Dr. Reena Malik are considered the ultimate authorities on premature ejaculation, even they admit doctors are not really equipped to treat it.
From the medical side, there's very little that we offer, I'll be honest.
Only 65% of U.S. medical students get training in sexual medicine. And of those 65, 50% of those students said that the training was terrible. So we don't get the sexual medicine training to address the problem for patients.
This single-focus physical approach has been the standard for decades. Even though it leads to little to no progress, a lot of wasted time, and continued disappointment and frustration from yourself and your partner. So if you want to confidently last over 15 minutes and fully satisfy your partner long term, you can't just have one single focus. But I'm going to show you how to use this new multi-layered system that includes mental, emotional, and behavioral aspects as well. So you can see the exact pathway to gain confidence, get fast results, and consistently stay in control during sex, and pull you away from this outdated advice. This is Joshua, and he was able to last significantly longer and finally made his partner orgasm through penetration. Basically, you are going to build a foundation that allows you to last as long as you want for the rest of your life. And while you shouldn't expect instant results like this change can happen really fast. Okay, so what is the first step of the blueprint to go from 1 minute to lasting over 15 minutes so you can fully satisfy your partner in bed? Now, before we talk about any specific techniques or practices, we need to talk about something that almost every man overlooks. And it's the reason why so many guys never fix this, even when they're using the right techniques. And it's your mindset. Because PE isn't just happening in your body, it's happening in your head and your nervous system long before your body reacts. Almost every man I work with is trapped in what I call the performance mindset, and you have to remove it. This is when you're so focused on the outcome of trying to last longer and please your partner that sex becomes a test that you need to pass instead of an experience you get to feel. So you try to control everything in your mind, constantly analyzing, worrying, and judging yourself in real time. You've probably felt this. Right before sex, you're already thinking, I'm screwed. I'm not going to be able to last. I feel too sensitive. I know I'm going to disappoint her. And once those thoughts hit, your nervous system immediately goes into fight or flight, and you're completely out of control. And the more this happens, the more you lose belief in yourself until you reach a point where you're convinced you'll always finish too fast. But you can't let that happen. You have to believe that you can make this change. It's like saying whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. So don't shoot yourself in the foot here. It's actually been scientifically proven that you can rewire your ejaculatory response system, which I will teach you about very soon. But you have to have faith that you can do it and let go of the pressure to fix it. And that takes some patience. The truth is, you have to give yourself at least 3 months to implement this new system with zero expectations. You can't just do an edging practice for a week and go and have sex with your partner and expect everything to change. It doesn't work like that. You have to give yourself the time to let go of this performance mindset and learn how to get out of your head and back into your body. Once you shift your intention and mindset to focus on connecting deeper to yourself, controlling your ejaculation actually becomes really easy. So now that we have the right mindset, we can start to rewire your ejaculatory response system so you can last over 15 minutes and fully satisfy your partner. This next step is something most men are never taught, and it's the foundation for this entire blueprint. Ejaculation is a reflex controlled by your nervous system. And if you have premature ejaculation, your body has learned to associate sexual arousal with fear and anxiety. But the key word here is learned. And anything learned can be unlearned and rewired. Let me break it down for you. Your nervous system has 2 main states: the sympathetic, which is the fight or flight stress response, and the parasympathetic, which is the rest and digest relaxation response. Ejaculation is a sympathetic reflex. That means the closer you are to this fight or flight state, the faster you lose control. So if your body is stressed and tense or anxious, you're already halfway to ejaculation before anything sexual even happens. And most men with PE don't realize this, but you might be living in a sympathetic state all day long. Stress from work, family, kids, overthinking. So when you add even the slightest amount of sexual arousal on top of that, your system spikes and you lose control. This is why you feel overly sensitive, but it's not actually your penis. It's your nervous system. And the only way to fix this is to regulate it. This is exactly why Kegels don't work long term. Think of your body like a car. Your arousal is the gas pedal, your nervous system is the brakes, and Kegels are the emergency brake. Now, sure, an emergency brake can stop the car in a crisis, but if you rely on it every time you need to slow down, you're going to be tense, stressed, and out of control for 90% of the drive. That's exactly what happens when you rely on just Kegels. Yes, you can clench your PC muscle to physically stop an ejaculation from happening, but your body is still stuck in fight or flight. So sex will feel stressful and out of control 90% of the time. And this is not how you want to experience sex. If you want real, consistent control in the bedroom and to be able to gradually step on the brakes and slow down your arousal whenever you want, you have to regulate your nervous system. And the biggest lever you can pull is to connect to your breath. During times of stress, inhale deeply through your nose, let your belly fill up with air, and then exhale out the mouth with a slight sigh and let the belly fall. Diaphragmatic breathing or belly breathing signals to your nervous system that it's okay to relax. And this has been scientifically proven to pull you out of the sympathetic state and into the parasympathetic state so you can feel calm and in control. But this has to start in your everyday life. And once you do that, you can integrate this during sexual arousal so you can have full control and start lasting over 15 minutes. Now that you've built the right mindset and learned how to regulate your nervous system, we can finally move into the part of the blueprint that actually rewires your ejaculatory reflex so you can fully master ejaculation control. And the key is behavioral techniques. Now, this is going to be a hard truth, but the way you've been approaching sex and arousal up until now is exactly what's keeping you stuck. Your body has learned to rush towards ejaculation, and it's been repeating this pattern over and over again. So if you try to fix PE while still doing the same things you have always done, your body will just repeat the same reflex. That's why we must unlearn the old behaviors first. And this is where behavioral techniques like edging or the stop-start method come into play. And this isn't just theory. These techniques were clinically proven back in 1970 by sex researchers Masters and Johnson to be nearly 100% effective in helping men last longer in bed. But here's what most people don't know. They didn't just tell men, go do the stop-start method and good luck. They spent weeks working with men and couples together in clinic, addressing mental, emotional, and physical layers of performance anxiety. It was a multi-layered system, not just one single technique. Because if you don't have the foundation from steps 1 and 2 in place, the stop-start method is not going to work for you. Now, here's another big problem. Most men have no idea how to do the stop-start method properly because no one actually teaches us how to do it. We all hear the same vague instructions, and honestly, I've even shared versions of this in my shorter videos. Stimulate yourself to the edge, slow down, and then start again. Okay, but what's the actual point? What are you supposed to learn? What is supposed to change inside your nervous system? And you're probably not going to hear this anywhere else on the internet. The stop-start method is not just about prolonging your masturbation sessions to last longer. It's not even how we're going to have sex with a partner, which I'll explain later. The real purpose of behavioral techniques is to retrain your nervous system to stay calm and relaxed during high levels of sexual arousal. You're practicing the exact same thing you learned in step 2, moving from sympathetic to parasympathetic, but now we're doing it with genital stimulation. So this feeling of being calm and relaxed during sexual arousal becomes your new pattern, something that is easy and normal for you. This is the moment where everything changes because you stop fighting your body with your mind and you start regulating and working with your body instead. But here's what usually happens. Most men start edging the same way they approach work or business. They want results now, and they expect every session to feel like progress. And if it wasn't perfect, they see it as a failure. But if you're treating your edging practice like something you have to win, you're bringing the same performance pressure into your solo practice that destroys your control with a partner. And that completely defeats the purpose of this behavioral training. Again, if you don't have step 1 nailed down, you can't just skip to step 3. This is by far the biggest mistake I see men make, and it leads to a lot of frustration and wasted time. But once you fully embody these behavioral techniques, you can take the next step to master ejaculation control and last over 15 minutes easily. Now, this is another piece to the puzzle that most men completely overlook. And if you skip this step, you'll continue having the same disappointing results. Let me ask you this. Do you know what you want and need to feel calm and regulated before and during sex? Well, most men have no idea, and you've probably never even considered it. You know you want to pleasure your partner, and that's pretty much it. So you try to give her what you think she wants or what you're supposed to do. So you follow her lead, you skip foreplay for you focus on her pleasure, and then jump into penetration whenever she wants it, even if you aren't ready yet. Now, this is a recipe for disaster. So if this is you, just know you aren't even giving yourself a chance to have a good sexual experience. If you don't know what feels good and regulating for you, which can be completely different for every man, you will never be able to stay calm and in control with a partner. This is another component we learn in our self-practice with behavioral techniques from step 3. And when you do this, you can take one of the biggest steps of all. And this is where everything changes. Once you know your wants and needs, you can finally communicate them to your partner. And yes, this is the part most men want to avoid. Because deep down you're thinking, I shouldn't have to ask. A real man should be ready to go anytime, anywhere. And what if I ruin the mood by asking? This again keeps you stuck in that performance mindset, which we know is a huge issue. The truth is, if you can't honor your wants and needs, it's going to be a hell of a lot harder to regulate your nervous system. And if you can't regulate your nervous system, you can't control your ejaculation. It really is that simple. This is also one of the main components of Masters and Johnson's clinical research that made the stop-start method nearly 100% effective in helping men last longer in bed. Just like I shared before, they weren't just teaching techniques. They were teaching open communication, giving direct feedback, and creating a safe space for men and couples to express themselves openly. This piece is critical. Without open communication and feedback, you don't see your blind spots, and it becomes very hard to know if you're actually doing the steps correctly. For me, this is one of the biggest breakthroughs of my entire life, knowing that I could get real help for this issue, having someone I can finally talk to about my sex life, about the doubt and the pressure I felt to satisfy my partners. But letting it out removed over 15 years of bottled up tension from my body, and this changed everything for me. So once you learn what you want and need and can communicate it openly, you will be able to integrate it with a partner and start lasting over 15 minutes during sex. Now, this final step is very important. Edging is not going to be how you have sex with your partner. You don't want to be bouncing from 90% of your edge multiple times during sex. That will be extremely stressful and will likely lead to another premature ejaculation. I want you to know your edge so well that you can stay as far away from it as possible during sex with your partner. You should be staying close to 60% to the point of ejaculation during sex so you can stay completely calm and in control the entire time. Now, at this point, men always ask me, how do I know if I'm ready to have sex? And here's the truth. If you have to ask that question, you're probably not ready yet, because you shouldn't feel any doubt or anxiety before sex. And here's why. If you follow this new system step by step, number one, you won't feel any pressure to perform because there's no goal. You get to just enjoy connecting and being intimate with your partner. Two, you'll know exactly how to connect to your breath and regulate your nervous system so you feel calm and relaxed before and during sex. Three, you've practiced this with yourself so many times that you are extremely confident and know exactly what you want and need to feel safe and have an amazing sexual experience. And number four, you have the confidence to openly communicate and ask for it. So think about that for a second. You get everything you want exactly the way you want it. To me, that sounds like heaven. And from that state where you are completely calm and relaxed, lasting over 15 minutes becomes natural and honestly pretty damn easy. And when you reach this point, you'll never have to worry about PE ever again. Now, I hope you're able to use this blueprint and put it into action to get amazing results on your own. But if you want my help implementing this, where I personally guide you through the process step by step until PE is no longer a problem in your life, click the link in the description and book a call, and let's see if we're the right fit to work together. You'll speak directly with me or with William. And I actually told you about William earlier. He joined the program in this exact same way back in June 2024. And within 4 months, he was lasting 10 to 15 minutes, and his fiance started looking at him like he was a new man. Now, he's having the best sex of his life. And we want the same for you. So we're looking forward to speaking with you soon and helping you take this next step towards changing your sex life forever.